How's it going? Welcome to the Halo 4 No Guns Challenge. Ever since Halo's inception, it has shaped and warped the first-person shooter genre all around it. But what if we played it without the shooting part? It's always fun to play video games in the way that they were not intended to be created, so let's see if it still has the same effect, it can still be enjoyed, if it can still be done. That is the main thing. Can you do it? And so you don't waste your time trying it out, I'm doing it for you, and be entertained along the way. Without any further ado, let's get into Act 1. After the events of Halo 3, where we destroyed the giant Cheerio maker, our ship got lost in space. I was asleep until the lewd AI turned me on, dirtied up my glass tube with fingerprints,
Pull the lever, Crunk.
did the thing, grabbed the waifu, crawled up an elevator, as you do, arm wrestled Zuckerberg's brother, and proceeded to my first encounter where I penetrated this guy hard from behind, tossed some cherry bombs at the Oompa Loompa henchmen, pounded their faces, opened up the Iron Curtain so I could see what communist dictatorship I would have to fight today, grabbed a weapon that wouldn't take up so much screen real estate, free real estate, Treasure Planet pirates wanted to invade my spaceship, I hid beneath this hole to assassinate this elite, but it didn't give me the animation, which was a big disappointment. I did get a hold of this grunt though, fisted my way through the fight and left. Had to slip behind these dudes and punch them in the face. I mean, in the side of the head technically, but still, come on, that's the area I'm reaching for. Played catch with my alien neighbors. Oh, sorry, that was a bomb. Have another. No, not my barrel of space pirate rum, come back!
I'm doing hot girl.
The planet opened its gaping jaws and swallowed us like a load of... Now I can confirm that fall damage isn't real, just like God. The naked glow stick said that we needed to go to the planet's core and find the good guys? Why are they at the core? Sounds hot, like a sauna. Picked up a needler, hoping the spikes would give a melee damage boost. I tried to run past this area completely, but there were so many enemies it got overwhelming I had to backtrack to protect myself so I didn't die. Picked up my first lightsaber, spent some time defiling this corpse, aggressively knocked until they let me in this building, turned on their Apple computer, Siri mapped how to get to the punched a few buttons, pushed a few people, and headed out to meet up with our UNSC homies. Since I couldn't use my firearms beyond smacking people, I was gonna get hands-on, so I brought some protection. Used the force to knock this guy down some stairs, hopped inside the purple potato and flew past this fight. On the other side of the gateway, I decided to hijack a spirit. Wait, it's a ghost. They're all named after stupid things. What's next? The poltergeist? Drove past this fight that I spent a really long time on in Legendary. I managed to maneuver my vehicle upstairs to run over the next guys, but I failed miserably.
Fail. Fail.
That's me.
Eventually I got my driver's permit and ran over some pedestrians. Got into a fist fight with some beefy boys. Or girls. They, them? I don't know what these things are. Aha! Dead. That's what they identify as. Inside the cave of giant dildos, my Windows amiibo opened the 4th dimensional frisbee, which brought an infestation of Tron roaches. My fear of robots drove me through the whirlpool. And this is how Journey to the Center of the Earth ends. Inside the planet. Alexa said I needed to go to the 2 polar destinations of the planet to turn off the Duracell batteries that powered the core, so then I could get inside and talk to the homies. Inside the electric Cheerio, I got attacked by a sci-fi Halloween decoration, which disappeared after I punched it, just like my ex-wife. Vandalized some Tesla dogs, commit terrorism on a Forerunner town, broke a lava lamp, did more homicide, unplugged one of their batteries. This is the representation of what it's like to unclog a really filthy toilet. So let's just let this play out. Ah, there we go. And flush. Jump through the portal to unclog the next toilet. I mean battery. I walked past this entire fight, and actually like 80% of the game's encounters are optional. Turned off the other light switch. Shut down their Minecraft beacon, tried to leave work a little too early and got sucked inside the hole which killed me, even though it technically completed the task I needed. Finally got to go to the center where I found out my home slices were stuck inside a giant metal testicle. I waltzed past 2 battlefields before I got the glory kill on this motherfucker. Now this looks familiar. The giant bowling ball screamed as it gave birth to a titan. Turns out this raw meat man took the signal from the actual ship and made it transmit from the center, so I would come and free him. I was basically catfished by an alien. I didn't know that, so I'm absolved of all responsibility for my huge mistake. Then he choked me out until I called him daddy. I guess he's not into that, because he left immediately afterward. I didn't mean to make things awkward. Everything kind of exploded after he left, and then I woke up on the floor, just like every Saturday morning. Narrowly escaping the exploded core, I got to practice my tech deck skills. Big ship little dick Captain Andrew Del Rio comes busting out of the clouds looking for me, crashes somewhere in the forest, followed by a big ball.
Look like we playing tennis. He got a big dick, I think his name Dennis. I jerk his dick until that nigga finish.
Cortana, you don't put it on speaker. The jungle level was actually the most difficult because I got lost so often. I didn't realize how half the level looks pretty much exactly the same all the way through until you get inside. And to be honest, I just walked past most of this level. I picked up a shotgun just to see how the attack animation differs depending on the weapon you're holding. Played Dead Soldier Scavenger Hunt. Found my way into the side of the flying phallic machine. I was greeted with guns to my head, which is a nice change of pace from energy swords. Captain, I look like every other white male, is impressed by my handshake. Brunette Broad makes fun of my height, and I get invited to a phone call, but it's just little Dick Rio, so I pretend I can't hear his whiny voice. Sir White Privilege wants me to go around back and turn on the Mac. I used a fellow soldier as a stress ball. With the force of Zeus, slapped this guy's ass into a tree. I got overwhelmed at this last bend and actually died, but that didn't stop me from shoving my ship inside the pole and turning on my AI. Aboard a Pelican, I got dropped off on a blessed ground where I was able to ride vehicles and easily slay enemies without fear of death. They wanted me to use a robot walker, but I said that's for old people and took a fast ride instead.
Gas pedal, gas pedal.
These 5 grunts were on the elevator and they weren't very aggressive, so I was able to slaughter them all without getting shot a single time. It was a very difficult fight. Ran over some more lizard people, smashed their jukebox because it wasn't playing human music. I did that a couple times. Do they just suck at designing jukeboxes? I ran over several waves of extraterrestrials. That gave my mongoose a fresh paint job of alien blood. The Forerunner is apple-phobic, so when we turned on the Mac, he flew away. Like Jesus Christ, our ship rose from the dead as we plotted how to deal with the roach infestation and destroy the Cockroach King's gravity well. We would go insecure redneck style in a really big truck. Aboard the giant truck, I grabbed a rocket launcher to use it for its intended purpose, smacking people in the ass. Picked up my standard issue hover backpack. I wasn't gonna let these bazookas tease me, so I smashed them to Reese's Pieces. We really need people to go and shoot the people outside, and because you're not doing that, I'm just gonna kill you instead. The metal whale spat me out like Noah. I grabbed the thing and I came right back. Was it Noah? No, Noah had the Ark. Who was the dude that got swallowed? Primed the pimple for popping? Crossed the river of acid. This is the bad river of acid, okay? It's not the one from the CIA. Sorry to burst your bubble, but this is kind of my job. Took Sputnik out of orbit and was ready to fight the Russians. I mean aliens. I mean, basically the same thing, right? Slit up the lich's urethra and popped his cherry. Did the thing Apple employees do in China where they try to jump off a building, but I had a floaty pack, so it saved my life. Maybe they should do that instead of a net around the building. Climb back inside the redneck's wet dream. Found out my vehicle is not waterproof. Did you know warthogs are prone to spontaneous animal combustion? This part was surprisingly tedious since I had to zigzag to avoid the sniper rifle fire, and hopefully I was able to moon jump up to them and punch their life out before I died, and then I'd have to hide behind a rock to shield recharge and then go at it all over again. This was the most difficult part of the run because there's so many enemies at this point, and if you die at all, you have to get reset to the very beginning of this little hollow thing, mountain, cliff bit. It's overwhelming. It slapped, naded on twice, and sniped.
Self-defense is not some fun boxing match, okay? This is about escaping with your life.
Cortana looked at a map of the solar system, and I looked at this magic lady who appeared out of thin air in the sky, and I don't know, what is this, heaven? Learned that she's a dead librarian, and that a librarian is a forerunner equivalent to a zookeeper. But it's not like lions, tigers, and bears. She keeps the galaxy's most dangerous species, liberals. Oh wait, I'm thinking of California. The flood, which is what will happen if the climate keeps changing. Jokes aside, we chatted about CRISPR babies and Daddy Dak, using the super flute to convert living beings into internet trolls that wouldn't be affected by the flood. Speaking of, here they come, the legion of roaches riding in on flying dildos, which would make a great album cover once the Daddy Dak starts composing. The library lady sent me home after imbuing my body with a Faraday box so the Forerunner 5G signal wouldn't give me autism. Now I can dominate Daddy Dak with the power of God and boomers on my side. To appreciate the lovely graphics and seeing Master Chief's torso a la carte. What a lovely day. A giant ladybug got in our way. I was about to leave the room, but then I realized I forgot my e-girl. Walked through the glowing Christmas wreath and back into the battlefield. Attempting to get to a vehicle, I got ran over and shot to death. Kicked this plebeian out of the mongoose and drove around with Rocket Guy on the back, but Rocket Face didn't use his rocket launcher as much as I would have liked, so I got out and got in a big vehicle where somebody could use the turret and actually do some damage. Ran over their bubble machines and just ignored them. Almost got killed again. Picked up the world's most powerful laser pointer and melted the gravity well. We had a meeting about the copious amounts of friendly fire I was doing, but I interjected. I haven't fired a single bullet all day. That made Grey Widow's Peak mad and threatened to take away my girlfriend. I tried to explain it wasn't like that, but Angry Boomer didn't understand that Samantha Samsung wasn't a real person and said, "Back in my day, people were computers."
What a pisser.
Corona felt insecure about our non-existent relationship after that, so I cleared all confusion by saying I'd anally destroy Lasky over getting dirty with a Digimon.
So yeah, you're gay.
Lasky was flattered and offered me a ride in his Epstein jet.
Here we go. Focus. Speed. I am speed.
It's not like I was gonna be able to shoot these things, so I just flew past the spiritual sky beetles. Rang the Promethean doorbell. These guys usually fly straight up into the air if you get too close, so you can't melee them, which is the only way to dispatch them in this run. And they're just difficult and annoying, and I hate them. I think I forgot to do this early on, but could you please smash the subscribe button? This will save your life. If you try doing this challenge, you have to pick up the auto sentry to take care of the watchers. That's enough serious gamer tips. Okay, back to punching cats. I picked up the big boomsticks. I wanted to see how that attack animation works, but it's really... There we go. I must have checked my phone during this bit because I just smashed the wall for 30 seconds straight. These gentlemen looked like they were affiliated with Daddy Dak, so I beat the pants off of them. At the very end of this segment, there comes a swarm of watchers, which the auto sentry is crucial for getting rid of before you can go and tap the button. Of course, for me, there was 3 left, so I kind of ignored them and went ahead, dropped the sentry, and then went below so I wouldn't get shot. I ran past most of this next portion until I realized you need to fight off the hunters if you want to progress, so I was forced to play a little ring around the rosy. This next bit is a coward's paradise, since it just gives you a banshee and you can just fly on over to the exit. You don't have to fight anybody. Where you then skydive onto a leech and witness the bowling ball make a hole in one. The planet poops us out into the drain that leads to the ocean. Oh, this isn't an ocean. It's another Cheerio and space station. Accidentally kicked the sleeping guy in the face and drove the taxi to the station. Cortity didn't like my aggressive driving, or she's just PMSing. She called me a sexist, so I drove like a girl. Somehow we survived the crash and Cortilla Chip said she'd never let me drive again, which is kinda what I wanted. I enjoy going in random holes, but sometimes they kill you. Slapped these aliens silly with my crystal methamphetamine launcher. Cleared my internet search history, pulled up my firewall, and knocked this guy into the abyss. traded my pew-pew for a glow stick, rushed the OA team. Some anti-vaxxers were trashing the hospital, so I had to go and enforce them to submit to the will of the PhD.
These nuts. Got him! Got him!
Hopped in the elevator with Halsey, who kept calling me John for some reason instead of Mr. Chief. You get it? Because it sounds like Master. Apparently she owned the super flute. I let her know Daddy Dak was coming to blow it. Play Song of Time on the composer, but we're out of time because we're being invaded.
What are you doing in my swamp? What are you doing in my swamp?
This Thanksgiving, I'm glad none of my audience members have epilepsy. I harassed the scientists for not curing global warming. Ooh-wee. I taught these guys how to fly. Oh, I think they're dead. I'm actually weirdly proud that I got the assassination on the Invisible Elite. Plugged my flash drive into the company computer to upload naked pictures of Cortana. This upcoming fight I find actually fun, so I stuck around and actually died a couple times through it just because I wanted to. If it wasn't for the stomp on the mantis, this part probably would have taken me the longest time out of any level, but they gave the mantis a step attack, a melee attack, so I was saved from all that potential torture that I could have gone through. Sorry, let me just put my dick away. I did have to get in another mantis at one point because the damage was too much. The last part of the fight has a bunch of banshees, and that's what you need the auto sentry for that you picked up in the previous level, so they can take care of the banshees, and they do a surprising amount of damage to them. It legit took 12 auto sentries to take out my very first banshee, but it is possible to do it this way. When I got inside, I googled, "Is Alex Jones real?" and the results came back inconclusive. This video is 10% like the challenge video, and then 90% jokes, so let me give you something real to work with. Balls. I got soft locked somehow and had to redo the freaking banshee fight. The scientists thought I was going to kill them for not curing measles, but I just wanted Cortana to show Halsey magic tricks. She tried the light everybody on fire trick and it didn't work, so everybody died, except me, since the librarian enchanted me with fire resistance. I realized just now I accidentally fired right here. I'm so sorry. At least it went off into the wall and didn't hurt anybody and changed the effects of this run. Next we hopped in a longsword, which is a really dumb name for a space airplane. We followed after the composer so I could bomb it later. There's a couple barriers in this level which you can get by bodying at the slowest speed. You know, you just pull back and you run into it and it'll deplete your shield, but it'll also get rid of the barrier. Now this segment, unlike the last one where you could just body the blobs, you have to fly in very slowly and hit it specifically with the wing, and if you're a tiny bit off, it'll either do absolutely nothing or just straight up kill you. The Infinity ship uses hyper beam to stop Daddy Dak's car on the space highway long enough for me to show off my bad driving skills to get inside, similar to how you would crash into the side of a grocery store just after they close so you can pick up the milk Dad never got when he left 5 years ago. Except this time I was bringing a bomb like a 2010s Arab meme.
Run.
Got through the part that I personally find to be the hardest on Legendary. Reached the terminal where I could register to vote. I think this next area was completely optional, but I fought most of them regardless, except for this last dude. Traded in my saw for an axe. Moved forth into the room where you're supposed to snipe stuff, but I just sat there and waited for it to come to me to bop it on the head, like little bunny foo-foo. I Superman my way to the giant centerpiece. I taught Cortana how to use her dissociative identity disorder for good, do maternal jump pad to the next zone. She spread her various cheeks at all the terminals. Taught this night about Babe Ruth's legacy. Daddy Dak knew what we were up to and tried to kill my best friend. Not that I have room to make any other friends. Flew up to the catwalk to propose. A fight to the death, that is. The ugliest in all of Whoville uses his Sith Lord powers to hold me still while he talks. He just really needed to feel heard. Cortaco got mad I was listening to somebody other than her complain and assaulted my new alien fuck buddy. Because I'm a patriot, I stuck the illegal with a grenade and detonated the nuke. I had the most bizarre wet dream before waking up in space. I returned to the core, a god among men. Lasky congratulated me for my hand-to-hand combat like the Spartans of old. Halo 4 is perfectly beatable without shooting a load of bullets. If you enjoyed this, you may also like my Doom Eternal Plasma only challenge. Meanwhile, I plan to do this for Halo Reach as well. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments and subscribe.